So you've heard lots of marketers out there talking about this thing called evergreen content. And we talk about it, we sprout about it, we say you should have it within your content library. But sometimes we just don't explain what evergreen content is and why it's important to have in your marketing mix and in your content bank. So that's what we're going to discover in this video. We're going to look at what evergreen content is, why is it valuable, and why you should have it within your marketing mix. So first of all, evergreen content, we need to think about the tree. So see the tree behind me? Not so much evergreen, it loses its leaves. But an evergreen tree is one that doesn't lose its leaves. It's green all year round. And that's the same thing when we're creating evergreen content. We want to have content that is useful all year round. It is timeless, it is valuable, and it is always relevant. And by creating and depositing evergreen content into our content banks, we create a content bank that we can grow a little bit like money and make sure that we keep depositing good, valuable content that our audience can engage with. It also means when we deposit that content on our website, it's relevant no matter when someone's searching for it. So it means that they can find it consistently again and again. So pretty much in a nutshell, evergreen content is content that stays relevant to your audience and is pretty much timeless. Unlike time-related content, which is time-sensitive and needs to be delivered at a certain period or a certain time of year, or it's relating to a current event or a current affair out there that you're tapping into. And you might be newsjacking. And newsjacking is a way that you would use time-sensitive content. Evergreen content could be how-to guides and those sorts of things. So why is it essential to include within our marketing mix? Evergreen content offers us longevity. So it offers the piece of content that we create, longevity on our website, longevity on our YouTube. It can be found whenever the audience member is ready to engage with that piece of content. And I still have pieces of content in my evergreen library that I found years and years afterwards that provide valuable resources to people. And even in a training session this morning, I shared some content that we created that was evergreen from a couple of years ago that was relevant and really helped people out. And it allows us to be able to then have content at our fingertips that can help people out because it is evergreen and it's making sure that we don't have to consistently feed the content with. Evergreen content is also then repurposable into other forms of content. We can create it into tips, we can do more with it, and it's just got that test of time. It's a good SEO boost because evergreen content is always relevant, which therefore means our website is always relevant to those looking at it and to the search engines who are indexing us along the way. And then consistency. So by creating good, solid evergreen content, if we can't market or we can't write or we can't blog for the month, we can still use our schedulers to deliver that evergreen content out to our audience and at least stay consistent on those social channels and drive from our content bank tips and tricks that will help people at different stages when our audience are wanting to engage with us from that evergreen bank. So let's explore the characteristics of good quality evergreen content. So first of all, we start with a timeless topic, a question, an issue, or something that's always going to pop up within your customer's journey. That's what we want in our evergreen content. We then want to make sure that it has educational value so that when they find that content, whatever problem or whatever question we're addressing or solving for them, we'll give them that win that will encourage them to continue either reading and engaging with our other content or make contact with us for our product or service to solve the problem. We want our evergreen content to be in simple language. It's very easy, we know our industry, to throw in a whole heap of jargon. So we want to keep it simple so that they can get their answers and they also know that working with you is not going to be overcomplicated. It needs to be, and the other thing about evergreen content is it does need to be a little bit detailed. It needs to be comprehensive. It doesn't need to just scratch the surface but doesn't give them the win and answer along the way. So it goes back to having that win. So making sure that we do step them through whatever it is to create that trust and to get that knowledge and trust factor along the way in our marketing with our evergreen content. But also, it shows also the SEO engines and those places out there that we actually know our stuff and we value the people that are coming to read the content on our website. So some examples of evergreen content that you can create and put into your marketing plans could be how-to guides. It could be step-by-step of how to use your product or service. It could be step-by-step how to do things that people maybe need to do before they would engage you in their product or service along the way. Or it could just be some simple walkthroughs or some did you know stuff. how-to guides are a great piece of evergreen content. Your FAQ pages are actually part of your evergreen content. So making sure that you've got the frequently asked questions, but also then taking those FAQs and turning them into videos so that you can share them out there on social media in a consistent cycle using like programmers like Reed-Enever and that to get that content out there so that when people are scrolling the internet, they're like, I'm trying to find an answer, your video pops up. And there's an evergreen piece of content you've created once that you continue to share again and again. Case studies, testimonials also make really good evergreen content. People want to see that other people have had success with you. So creating testimonial graphics or maybe sharing a case study. You don't have to go in and name everyone, but sharing a case study about, oh, we did this with X, or with a client, or in a session I did this and it helped. Or we worked on a client site over here and we did this. And it's great for trades businesses to show before and after. It's also great to have testimonial videos along the way too, because it really does transfer that trust from the customer who's already engaged with you through the person who's about to buy from you. And then resource lists are another great piece of evergreen content. So we've got things on the Reed-Enever Group website, like our coaches toolkits, our marketers toolkits, and our educational toolkits along the way that help people. Doesn't always just have to be free content out there. You can create courses that are available to take on evergreen formats. You can create ebooks that are available to take on evergreen format. You can have webinars on demand. You can have lots of paid content that is also evergreen that you can continue to sell again and again. Books are another prime example of it. Books and marketing decks that I've got here, these are prime examples of evergreen content that I can take when I'm presenting, or I can continue to promote on our website because it's relevant to my audience again and again. So now we've explored what is evergreen content and some ideas and some ways that you can do it. Let's get you creating some evergreen content. So first things we want you to do is identify your core topics. What are the core things you want to be known for? And then let's start creating blog post ideas, podcast ideas, and possibly even products, ebooks, and course ideas around those topics. A handy way to identify some of those course topics is just to start noting down the questions that people are asking you, but also asking the audience and see what resources would they have needed. And if you're working with existing clients, you have a really good relationship, what would have really helped you find me when you were first looking for me? What could I have created that would have helped you find me? Because those questions are coming from the people who we already like to work with, and then we can create some more good content that's going to attract more people like them to us. Once we create our evergreen content, we want to make sure that we're optimizing it for search engines. So we don't want to be too fancy with our titles, with anything like that. If it's a how-to to do something, we want it to be a how-to to do something. This video, for example, is the power of evergreen content, and it explains what it is. And the reason we don't get too clever is so that we make sure that we are appearing in search engine. We then use the keywords, and then we make sure that the evergreen content, as we create it up, we're using things like headings and good images and good visuals along the way that will explain that piece of content out there. So we want to make sure that we spend some time optimizing it. And then finally, we've got to decide how we're going to produce that piece of content. Is it video? How are we going to put it out there? Is it blogged? Or are we going to mix a video and blog together? Or are we creating a valuable resource that people can engage with? But how that content mix is going to go together creates part of the plan. And then we create evergreen marketing assets to promote that content. Evergreen content is the foundation of your marketing strategy. There will be moments where timeless content needs to be able to be poured in and come up because things change, industries change, or you're releasing new products or services. But by having a strong evergreen foundation of content, you're able to build on and continue to deposit. And it works really well with the content bank strategy about continuing depositing information into your content bank. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is dedicate some time to thinking about what evergreen content you can have within your business, what actions you can take, what themes you can talk on, and start carving out time to continually deposit content into your content bank using this evergreen strategy so that it can back you up for those moments and times within business that you maybe just don't have the time to create new content. And once you've created it as a blog or a video or something like that, make time in 3 to 6 months time to create it in a new format and keep building on that evergreen topic again and again. And if you're blogging and you can write 2 or 3 posts on it, remember to cross-link, because the power of cross-linking in marketing means that it shows the SEO and the website that you've got great content, and you can also cross-link off to products and services that relate to those blogs as well, or those videos or those how-to guides throughout that process. So I hope you have fun creating some evergreen content. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create out there. I'm Linda Reed-Enever, Ideas and Marketing Strategist, and I look forward to sharing more tips with you on how you can create impact with your business.